Hey there. I am at the southeast address this time, 6910. This is the home that definitely needs all the work. You can see that the yard is, kind of overgrown. As I get closer, this one definitely has not had a roof in ages. And that's probably its biggest problem, honestly, because it's for its age and that it's been vacant, and nothing has been replaced since it was built, like the carpet, the kitchen, the bathroom. It is all original. It's cleaner inside than you might expect because this yard is 2 feet tall. But I did some digging historically in the county property appraiser, and it looks like only 2 owners for the last 40 years. So that can be good and that can be bad. And I think in this case it may have been good, except that the last owner they probably got elderly and just couldn't, manage to do any more to it before they passed or moved to a nursing home or whatever may have happened. But anyway, here we go. The garage door looks fairly new. I may not open some closets in here. I keep waiting to be surprised by a critter because there are several open spots in the ceiling because this roof is really bad. I showed you a hole when I was at the street view. There's part of it. You can see through the fascia right here. And again, it's Florida, and with nobody taking care of anything and letting it get grown over, everything gets wet. All right, here we go into the front door. This one is definitely bigger than the last one. This is your living room. Here is the first open spot. You could see right out up into the sky, which is why I am surprised it's not worse in here, because here's the other thing. There's no power. And we're in Florida, and it's not had power all summer, and so I can't believe that it looks this good, honestly, because, rain can come right on in there. So, anyway, I'm pleasantly surprised, if you will, but from an owner's standpoint, it needs quite a bit of work. Somewhat of a potbelly stove that is vented out the roof. Anyway, in your living space, this is spacious enough. That's why they had room to do that. Here's your little dining area. Here you can see more where the roof is really its biggest problem, other than cosmetic things like the kitchen and the bathroom and the floor and the flooring and whatnot. But if there's a major problem, it's what the bad roof has done. Anyway, here's the dining area. There's sliders that go out into the back. That goes out into the garage. We'll go out there. Here's the single car garage. Here's one of the other spots where the bad roof has allowed, water to damage the ceiling. Other than that spot, not bad. There's your attic access. It does have a garage opener. Obviously, I cannot test any of that because there is no power here. I'll take advantage of this man door in the garage, and I'm going to step out on this patio. I'm not walking out into that. It's Florida and snakes. So, anyway, here's your backyard, and there's the sliders. Florida just is trying to take back its property here is all. That's just what happens when stuff is left vacant. But it is a big backyard. I don't know if you can see that privacy fence over there. It's a little dilapidated, but it's there. And, there's quite a bit of space back here if somebody got back here and cleaned it up. This tree obviously needs just to be taken down because that dead branch that fell came from right there. There's a shed there in the corner. I don't know if you can see, it goes quite a ways back there into the corner. through here. Ooh. All right, here is the kitchen. Like I said, this is classic 1984 or whenever the year was it was built. Just they're Formica cabinets, you know, that were popular in the 80s. A little galley kitchen. It's a pretty sizable fridge for this little kitchen. If it were me, I'd put a smaller fridge there and then maybe put a second one out in the garage. But there is not a lot of space for a dishwasher, obviously, because it's a pretty small kitchen. But here's where the stove and all is. Again, here's your dining area. Sliders out back. And then down the hallway to the bathroom and bedrooms. Again, I can't turn lights on. There's no power in here. Hopefully you can see a little bit. I can't run my flashlight and the video at the same time, but just a little single vanity sink. Again, everything's original, so honestly, you know, this tub and tile isn't bad. I know you probably can't see it, but it's a metal tub. So anyway, just a little single bath. And then the two bedrooms. I think this is the smaller of the two. I am thinking that this shower, something leaked, or there's just another hole in the roof right above here, because here is, you know, it's mildewing. Specifically in the closet is the worst spot. I think it's probably the roof, because that wouldn't come that far. So and the carpet's not wet, so it's coming from the roof somewhere down this wall here. I'm not going to touch it, but I can't tell what that is, but anyway. One of the bedrooms, and then this is the bigger bedroom by a little ways. Yeah, definitely bigger. This is another spot, unfortunately, where you've got some breakthrough from the moisture with the bad roof. You know, though, there's still like excessive water staining around the hole. It's just very interesting. Now you can tell that there's been moisture, you know, collecting down there, but I can't believe there's not more mildew in this room with that big gaping hole right there. Honestly. Anyway, there's this room. This is not a bad sized room, really. This first one is a fair amount smaller, but this is a decent size. You know, if you wanted to call one of them a master bedroom, it would be this one. Here's the view again from the hallway going back into the living area. You know, if you removed this room would be nice and spacious. Obviously, this one needs an overhaul. It needs a roof, it needs new drywall, it needs floor, it needs kitchen, it needs bathroom, it needs paint. So I'm not sure if that's, you know, what you're in the market for, but we can chat about that. Anyway. I'll walk out the front door one more time. It's not a bad neighborhood though. Like this is, not the norm. You can see that I'm sure the neighbors, just love this. Oh, there's that tree needs to come. Not that it has any branches left to fall, but anyway, yeah, the neighbors are fine. It's not a bad little neighborhood. I've lived in Ocala my whole life, so um, anyway, uh, here's one last peek. Talk soon. Thanks.